This is NoCurrencies, my Snowflake Iron Man.
Hello!
Inspired by other snowflakes, I made this account more than a year ago. The rule is simple. No spending currencies. I don't make any exceptions to this rule. Not being able to spend GP means I can't buy a house, even though that locks me out of the construction skill completely. There's some quests I can't start. There are plenty more quests that I can't finish. I can't even change my gender. Of course, GP isn't the only currency. There are dozens, and so I'm locked out of a wide variety of content, sometimes literally. The consequences of this restriction are sometimes unexpected, as you'll see here. This, boys and girls, is what it's like to kill lizards without any boots on. That last clip might have confused some of you, since I didn't really explain what just happened there. You might also be wondering why I'm only now making my first video, after already making so much progress. I actually just graduated. That means I finally have the time to make content. However, I didn't record a single clip until just recently, and I think it would be a bit jarring if I only started making progress videos now with this account. I want to show you what things were like playing without currencies from day one, and the only way to do that is with a brand new account. OneWayWallet. OW for short. As the name is meant to imply, this account will have the same exact self-imposed restriction where I can't spend any currencies, although I'll be free to collect them. I'm also a girl, again, you'll see why in a future episode. Looking good. I honestly don't ever remember seeing Tutorial Island this empty. I'm literally the only white dot on the minimap right now. Back in my day, we burned our first shrimp. Quick tip, drop everything over the course of the tutorial and you'll save some run energy. So this is the last time I'm ever going to use a bank on this account. I haven't mentioned it yet, but I'm making this account an Ultimate Iron woman to meaningfully differentiate this account from the main Snowflake, so I'm not just doing the same exact thing over again. That account is an ex-hardcore, by the way. And off and away we go. The start of another new adventure. Alright, we're firing straight on into this by dropping everything that's not going to be useful to us. Now that we're done with the tutorial, I can go over what I plan to do next. My goal for this first episode is to finish all the free-to-play quests I can actually do, at which point I can bond up and start members content. There's 21 free-to-play quests in total, and out of that number, there's 16 I can finish without spending any GP, which is the only currency that matters in free-to-play. That leaves 5 quests I can't do. Those are Demon Slayer, Dragon Slayer, Goblin Diplomacy, Pirate's Treasure, and Prince Ali Rescue. Demon Slayer and Dragon Slayer are both ineligible on account of having to spend GP directly during those quests. 1 coin to start Demon Slayer, and 2000 GP to buy the boat during Dragon Slayer. The other 3 quests require spending GP to buy necessary items. Pirate's Treasure requires Karamja Rum, Goblin Diplomacy and Prince Ali Rescue both require dyes from Aggie. So back to the matter of the quests I can do. We've begun our journey here with gathering all the ingredients we need for Cook's Assistant. While we're at it, I'm also going to grab all the wool I need for sheep shear before we head back to the castle to finish Cook's Assistant and make balls of wool. Originally, I felt like it would be more macro efficient to do sheep shear after Imp Catcher, because imps actually drop balls of wool, but the fact that I can't bank forced me to reconsider and get sheep shear out of the way ASAP, since I'd much rather do the quest in a single trip, and that means I need 20 free inventory slots, which will really only be doable now at the beginning, as my inventory is definitely going to fill up quite quickly. To be honest, I have no idea how this whole UIM thing is going to go long term, as I've never played a UIM before, and always kind of even dreaded the idea, to be honest. To me, the bank has always been an integral part of RuneScape, especially considering I'm usually a hoarder, and I already know it's going to pain me greatly, being forced to drop things I'd normally always bank. I've been playing this game since 2005, and I've literally never power leveled a single skill before. I usually bank everything I can. For the purpose of this series though, I've decided I want to be open-minded about this experience and just sort of see what I can do with this extra restriction on top of what I'm used to. Just going to hop here because apparently there are sheep shearing bots now. Oh look, there's more. Wow, let's try an Australian world. Surely Aussies aren't botting. Okay, we're clear, thanks Aussies. So playing without currencies, it's going to be especially difficult managing my inventory on here because I won't be able to get a house, and it also means I won't be able to build stash units, so I won't be able to rely on construction to basically give me pseudo-banking like Ultimate Iron Men often do. Let's grab the last of our wool here, with not an inventory slot to spare. Hand in these ingredients to the cook, and there's our first quest done. Also for cooking. Starting Rune Mysteries while we're here, and right on over to the spinning wheel where we're just finishing our 20 balls of wool. Also grabbing this knife because we'll need that in a bit. 20 balls of wool, and there's our second quest, 20 free inventory slots, and 3 crafting. Now since we're here, we're going to kill some chickens and burn through the 25 bronze arrows we got off Tutorial Island so as not to waste them, and maybe get a couple ranged levels. I've got to kill some chickens because we need 10 cooking for the knight's sword to make red berry pie. And the feathers will come in useful at some point once we're members to do a bit of fletching. 2 ranged coming in here, so I guess until further notice we're a ranged peer. I've made a terrible mistake. I accidentally aggroed one of these goblin boys instead of a chicken. Please leave me alone. Oh my god. How long is this guy's aggro range? Thank you. Almost 3 ranged here. And we're out of arrows. I was supposed to talk to the range tutor to toggle the feature where arrows you pick up go straight into your quiver, but I forgot. Gonna have to do that later. In the meantime, I'm picking up the same arrow over and over again because I'm so close to 3 ranged here and now I want it, even though this is just stupid. Stupid. 3 ranged on our very last arrow. Now we can drop our bow and get cooking. There's 5 cooking, not very useful. And here's 6 cooking. This might have been a useful level for the start of Recipe for Disaster, but we can't do that quest. Why did I stop cooking there? That's so weird. Anyways, we'll finish off 10 cooking later. For now, it's off to Barbarian Village. So there's 2 things I need in Barbarian Village. First of all, I need this beer for Vampire Slayer. Second thing, what a champion. The second thing I need is a bunch of food, and this cooked meat will just have to do. I think that's enough, so let's get out of here, or try to. Now that we're sufficiently stocked up on food, it's time to go into the wilderness, at a humble 10 HP in 3 combat, and try not to die. Low-level Ironmen will often travel into deep wilderness for steel plate potties in the lava maze to kickstart their cash stack, and it turns out for free-to-play Ironmen, the wilderness is the only place to get planks for Dragon Slayer. However, I can't finish Dragon Slayer as I discussed earlier, and I've no need of money. I've got a different reason for coming here, and that's to vastly speed up the rate at which we can finish things off in free-to-play. We're going to be making that happen with magic, specifically with the Staff of Earth from the Lava Maze and runes from the Dark Warrior's Fortress. Jesus Christ, give me a heart attack, why don't you? I'm actually not going to dismiss this event because he could give me something potentially useful. The gold necklace and ring, for instance, are used in a few different remote clue steps. A gold bar. The only quest I'll need that for is Monkey Madness 1, but I could also turn it into some teleport jewelry, so I think I'll hold on to it until further notice. Come to think of it, I'll also get gold bars from Waterfall Quest as a reward, so probably going to be turning it into jewelry. Alright, we're coming up in the lava maze here. This is why I picked the knife up earlier. Okay, that was way easier than I thought it would be. I took like no damage there. Staff of Earth acquired. Now get me out of here. Come on, come on, come on. And we're clear. I took a lot more damage on the way out of the maze than I did going in. But we've still got plenty of food left for the Dark Warriors and any PKers if we're unfortunate enough to run into one. Before we go pick up runes, we've got one more thing to grab while we're in the wilderness, and it's 5 iron bars right here. 2 for the Knight's Sword quest to make the Blurred Sword, and 3 after we finish that quest and get the required smithing level of 26 to make an iron chain body for Black Knight's Fortress, since I have no other way of getting one. There's those runes we're after. I hopefully shouldn't take too much damage getting in here, since thankfully free-to-play only has the level 8 warriors. Okay, piece of cake. Okay, so we just spent 10 minutes in this room and lost aggro, meaning now we can start using both of these rooms to pick up the rune spawns and hop between worlds to keep doing that. So if you noticed a second ago, those chaos runes only just spawned, which means I'm not the only one here. Ideally, I'd like to stay here until we've got 1,000 of each of these runes, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, I've lost my nerve and I'm not staying here any longer, even though we don't have as many runes as I wanted. If you don't know, Ultimate Iron Men lose all their items on death as if they were skulled, and can't even use Protect Item. I'm actually risking a fair bit here by free-to-play standards and really don't want to die right now. This place isn't nearly as dead as I thought it was, particularly for the Chaos Rune spawn. I saw several players, and while I'm not actually sure if any were in my combat bracket because I couldn't see, we've hopefully got enough runes for what we'll need them for. Okay, Hans, how long have we been at this? We spent about an hour in the fortress over the past 3 days because every time I saw another player, I logged for hours. Now that we're back in Lumbridge, it's time to start the Restless Ghost. I actually spent quite a long time planning out the route I wanted to take to finish all these quests as quick as I reasonably could, and we're going to be juggling several quests at once for most of this episode. Before we go visit Father Ernie, we're going to bang out Missile and Mystery, since this quest is entirely self-contained. Can I help you, Mr. Rat? Are you aggressive? That would be a yes. So quick tip if you want to do this quest without opening a guide. Just write the letters for the gems, the last letter of each line in that note, right in your chat window, and then you don't need to look elsewhere for the order. This part of the quest is super annoying, but we've got it here, I think. And wrapping up right here. That's our 3rd quest done. We're literally going to be 1 XP short of 8 crafting right here. 7 crafting, yep. Unfortunately, we probably won't have space for those gems. Father Ernie, give me that Ghost Speak amulet. While we're here, we're also going to snag the leather gloves on the table because we'll need those for Witch's House after we get to members. Then it's off to the Wizard's Tower. Here we can see another heroic champion using magic in the finest of magic garb. Just here to deliver our air talisman, although we don't get a free inventory slot just yet. Since we were near Draenor Village, it seemed like a good time to start Vampire Slayer. I'm not going to grab the garlic until later though, because space is just too tight at the moment. We're about to head back to Lumbridge to talk with the Restless Ghost, so when we next return to the Wizard's Tower to finish Rune Mysteries, we can also grab the skull on the altar. If we additionally turn in our beads for Imp Catcher, that'll be the last time we need to go to the Wizard's Tower while we're in free-to-play. Okay, Mr. Ghost, tell me all about your troubles. We ran right by earlier, but now we can enable our automatic ammo pickup. Gonna stop at a general store while we're here to free up some inventory space. Now I know what you're thinking. Why not just drop this stuff on the ground since we're not allowed to use GP, and why is that GP even in your inventory? So I might have mentioned earlier that I'm a hoarder, and that's because I can't bear to let anything go to waste, even to the point of making things counterproductive for me. So what I've decided is that to satisfy my inner hoarder, and for an extra little challenge on the UIM, I'll be required to hold on to my money until I've got at least a 1 mil cash stack, at which point I can then drop trade it to contribute to my bond fund. Now we'll have some space for finishing off 10 cooking. We're back to slaughtering Farmer Fred's chickens, and there's our first magic level of many to come. We spent all that time picking up runes so that we could do all the rest of our necessary combat and free-to-play exclusively with magic. This is what will speed up our progress so much for the rest of our time in free-to-play. Provided you've got the runes, which I do now, magic is by far the strongest part of the combat triangle in the very early game, whether in free-to-play or members. It's going to power us through the imp grind for Imp Catcher, and this way we're also going to have a much easier time with the various quest bosses we have to kill this episode, namely the Weapons Master, Count Draenor, and Ithoid the Navigator. It's my hope that we'll also have enough leftover runes at the end of our free-to-play journey to also kill some members quest bosses right after, like the Witch's Experiment, Hazard Warlord, and Gluff's Demon. Having a higher magic level will, generally speaking, set us up very nicely for a transition to members, because we'll also be unlocking useful spells such as enchants and teleports. You might have noticed I'm casting Confuse on all the chickens, which isn't strictly necessary, but I want to get the most out of my runes and also burn through my stack of body runes, so I free up that inventory slot. There's 9 magic, and that means we can finally use Earth Strike and take full advantage of our Earth Staff. Also 3 prayer. Nice.
I am power incarnate.
Coming in with 10 cooking. Or not. 10 cooking right here. Seriously? This game is garbage. I should still be killing chickens, but there's 10 magic. And on our 5th chicken, we finally get 10 cooking. Get me out of here. So the next thing we want to do is Imp Catcher, but we hardly need a half inventory of food for killing imps. I could just drop all my chicken, but instead I'm going to make use of it and attempting to get an Eye of Newt from these zombies right now for Witch's Potion. Can we get lucky? Nope. So, it actually turns out that I had a 0% chance of getting lucky there, because I just realized that only the level 24s drop the Eye of Newt, and not the level 13s, which is quite unfortunate. This could hurt, but we do get 11 magic for our trouble. This guy really packs a punch. After a pitched battle, that's all of our food gone pretty much. And no Eye of Newt for our trouble. It's really no problem, as we'll get more attempts in later and make sure we're safe spotting. Now we're going to head to the south of Falador for the imp grind. Normally Karamja is the best place to go imp hunting in free-to-play, but unfortunately we have no way to reach Karamja without spending 30 GP on the boat. This fine gentleman asked me to stand and deliver, but I ain't about that life, so instead I'm going to take his cape. What? Give me a cape. Thank you. Much better. Every good adventure needs a cape. That's 13 magic, which unlocks Fire Strike, but I'm going to be sticking with Earth Strike because Fire Strike uses 2 air runes per cast, and Earth Strike only uses 1, in addition to not using any Earth runes since we have an Earth Staff. Our first bead. Here's 15 magic, unlocking Bones to Bananas, a spell I might never end up using. Second bead coming in hot. Levels are flying in here left and right. It's one of the nicest things about the early game in my opinion. And we get a magic upgrade. Hell yeah. Imps are also providing a few other things we need for questing, including a hammer to do Vampire Slayer and Cadaver Berries for Romeo and Juliet. 19 magic right here, which unlocks Curse, which will really boost our XP from body runes. We're still here, but there's 25 magic and 14 hit points. 25 magic is arguably the best unlock so far with our first teleport. Another red bead. We finally get a third bead type after 3 white beads and 3 red. We just got a back-to-back, and we are done. You can still see the red bead on the ground from a second ago. Gonna head right to Falador to start the Knight's Sword before we're off to Varrock. We've got stuff to do in Varrock for no less than 6 quests, and I mean to do all my business here in one go. Romeo and Juliet is first on the block. And now we've got 2 loaves of bread for emergency use in a boss fight. You know, I've been finding that clearing inventory space is much easier said than done on a UIM. I give the apothecary my Cadaver Berries, and he gives me a Cadaver Potion. We give Sedrador an Air Talisman, and we get a package. I think to myself, now we can finally get rid of our beer. But Dr. Harlow is just going to give us a steak to slay Count Draenor. Thank you very much. Anyways, now we can swing on over to Charlie and start Shield of Arav. I had to start this quest with Charlie and not Reldo, otherwise we'd have to pay Bariak 20 GP. Continuing the theme of not being able to clear any inventory space, we're going to trade Aubrey our package for some research notes. Now we gotta find someone to do Shield of Arav with to give me the weapons store key, and we can do our first boss fight. We've got a partner, and we've got a key. Here goes nothing. That right there is why we decided to go with magic. We're really cutting it close with inventory space now. Take my crossbows, please and thank you. And I'll take your shield half. Hand in the shield half. Get the certificate half. Put the halves together, and we're ready to finish this quest. But first, it's time to try again for the Eye of Newt for Witch's Potion. Anyone else who's ever done this quest probably just bought it in Betty's Magic Shop in Port Sarim for 3 GP, but we don't have that luxury. Imagine splashing with airstrike, yikes! So since we can't buy our Eye of Newt, we're going to kill more level 24 zombies here in the sewers, using the underground river as a safe spot. I'm actually a bit worried that we'll run out of runes before we can get this drop, as it's 1 in 128, but this is still our best bet. The only 2 NPCs to drop the Eye of Newt in free-to-play are zombies and Katablepon, those green cow serpent things in the Stronghold of Security. Those things are a nightmare to kill at a low level. So we're just gonna cross our fingers we can get this drop super early, otherwise we'll be finding ourselves back in the Dark Warriors Fortress. Oh my god, that's it. I wasn't even recording just now, only capturing the magic levels. Let's go, go, go before that thing despawns. Come on. And we're golden. You got that thing after what, 20 kill count maybe? That was super lucky. Let's go finish Shield of Arav. King rolled. Here you go. And that's another one in the bag. Talked to Reldo about Redberry Pie, and now it's pie time. We can grab a bucket up here. Then fill it with water from the sink. The pot of flour we actually got from killing imps, so that saved us another trip to the mill. We're so tight on inventory space right now, my god. If we drop something, we can make our pastry dough and then get rid of the pot and bucket. Grab the pie dish on the table. And fill it with dough. Why isn't this working? Because that's not dough. Jesus. Okay, so we're about to finish up Romeo and Juliet. I'm speeding through the dialogue here because I've done this quest several times, but if you haven't, you should read the dialogue. I think it's hilarious. And there's another quest, for the easiest 5 quest points you'll ever get. Taking a risk here, not going around the Dark Wizards to get our red berries, but we're hardcore. Figuratively speaking, of course. Fetching these red berries is the last thing we need to do in Varrock. I had to hop like 4 worlds for these. Apparently they're worth botting. But we've got our uncooked redberry pie, so we can go cook that in Lumbridge. Ants, how are we doing? 4 hours. Not bad, not bad. Let's go cook our pie. No, seriously? Cooking was going quite badly before too. That's so annoying. Nothing to do but move on though, I guess. Gosh, what a slow death animation. Gotta grab this rat meat for Witch's Potion. We also need an onion, and we have just enough inventory space for it. Finally, about to clear some inventory space here, because that's Imcatcher done. 29 magic, and Earthbolt unlocked. Back in the basement, and here's Rune Mysteries 10 seconds later, so we can fully train everyone's favorite skill. And I'll be taking that skull now. Oh no! A level 13 skeleton! Whatever shall I do? Finally going our garlic, because it's time to kill Count Draenor. but we're also going to do Ernest the Chicken since we're at Draenor Manor already. Now I know for a fact that this fight won't be as easy as the Weapons Master was because the Count has stupidly fast health regen. Here goes nothing though. Thick skin will see us through this, surely. A 5% bonus to 1 defense? Definitely OP. The only food I've got is this bread, but it actually heals 5 hit points, so it's superior to the cooked chicken and cooked meat we were using previously, because that only healed 3. With any luck, we won't need it here. Come on. Okay, no. Oh god. Eat. Yikes. Please die. Come on. Okay, awesome. That's Vampire Slayer done, and 20 attacks straight from level 1. That's why you should never do melee early on. Quests sort you out completely. Grabbing the spade and bucket for Ernest the Chicken, and the bronze medhelm is for Black Knight's Fortress. Once again, we are in dire straits with our inventory space. Definitely a recurring theme here. This whole adventure would have been a disaster without careful planning. Although thinking about it, we can drop the bucket, spade, and garlic, which is going to help a little bit. So I did this puzzle without a guide, and I screwed it up somehow because it took me like a half hour, but we're finally done. Phew. Now we can give the professor his stuff back. He can fix his machine. Through the wall. I see nothing wrong with that. Let's talk to Ernest. Through the wall. And that's another quest done. Now it's off to Remington. So we could have actually started the Corsair Curse here earlier on our way to do Imp Catcher, but now is also fine. Snagging this bronze pickaxe because we still need 15 mining for Doric's quest. Starting Witch's Potion now. We've got everything we need besides a rat tail, but you can't get one until you start the quest, so we're getting one right next door over here. Succeeding in what splashers never seem to manage right here. And there's our rat tail. Actually forgot to burn the meat, so let's do that over on this range right in this building. Why couldn't I burn this and cook the red berry pie? Jamflex, please! I shouldn't complain though, since I got the Eye of Newt so early. Okay, drink from the cauldron, and there's another quest done. The time has come to start mining. I'll be skipping these events later on, but I'm doing them at the beginning at least. And that's exactly why. We just unlocked one of the best emotes in my opinion. See for yourself. We got the moves. I thought the recent trade restrictions for new accounts were supposed to make bots less effective. This is my first time power leveling, by the way.
What a waste.
But we're doing what we have to do. Gonna stop at 10 mining for now for Blurite. Now we're gonna do the rest of the Corsair Curse since we were right nearby. This quest is actually quite bad without energy pots and no agility. It's basically 15 minutes of straight walking, although I'll admit the dialogue was fun the first time. And here, we'll find our source of food for the final boss fight. Itho is definitely the hardest boss I'll be facing in free-to-play, considering I can't actually fight Elvarg. We'll just hope cooked meat gets the job done. This fight is instanced, so everything is lost if we die. But it looks like we won't have to worry about that. Corsair Curse. Done. Back to Lumbridge, and we can finish up the Restless Ghost. Put the skull back, and that's another quest done. And 11 prayer. Now the time has come for a Redberry Pie Revenge, and this time we're going to have 4 attempts and not just 1. I swear to God though, I'm gonna flip a table if I don't manage this in 4 more attempts. 1. Off to a fantastic start here, I see. Take 2. And we've got it. You don't know how hard I worked for this red berry pie, Thurgo. Grabbing our cabbage for Black Knight's Fortress, and also starting this quest while we're at it. While we're here, I've also got to grab the sword portrait to give to Thurgo. As usual, we're stocking up on 3 HP food, this time to brave the Asgarnia Ice Dungeon and get our Blurite ore. We're here, and what do you know? It's another bot farm. Wonders never cease. But there's nothing we can do about it, so on with our business. That was actually super easy. I'm tanking incredibly well for only having 1 defense. There's our Blurite ore, and that's 1 Blurite sword acquired. Grabbing this spade here for X marks the spot. And here's the knight's sword done. 29 smithing straight from level 1. That never gets old. Back to Lumbridge again, this time to do X marks the spot. While I'm here, I'm stopping in the sewer to make an iron chain body for Black Knight's Fortress. And that pops us out right where we need to be, actually. Give this casket to Vios. And that's another quest done. I'll be saving the lamp for Druidic Ritual, but we can do the clue right now, which happens to be right near here. Dig once. Dig twice. That's actually not bad. I'll take noted food. Use it for training later, probably. We've got our disguise now, so the time has come to infiltrate the Black Knight's Fortress. I must say, we look exactly like we belong. Definitely making history as the first ever female guard in RuneScape. We're still doing okay on health here, but it probably would have been prudent to bring more food for this quest, since we can still technically die really easily to Black Knights. But I'm glad I didn't bother. Easy game. Enjoy your cabbage. I might have maybe preferred to teleport out of here normally, but we actually need to go to the Dwarven Mine, which is just south of here. It's time to get 15 mining so we can finish Doric's quest. Back to power mining. There's 15 mining, and we've got most of the stuff we need for Doric's quest, only the iron left. This is painfully slow with the bronze pick. Gee. Final stretch here, only 2 quests left. Here's Black Knight's Fortress. And that just leaves Doric's quest. And we're done. 16 quests and 28 quest points in just about 6 hours. And we're ready to enter the world of members. I'll see you there in the next episode.